sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They run the counter now on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Well, this defense for the Packers, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers finds his man, Watson, over the middle. Room here to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Watson. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. From the 30 on 2nd down, Rodgers under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Raekwon McMillan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into 1st downs and hopefully points. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now Jones. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st down, Jones. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Not much there, only a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. 6-0 our score after 1. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Thornton. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A great effort there. With touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Patriots are an extra point away from going out in front. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now here's a throw that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. First down and much more here for Jones. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big play there on the screen pass.
That's why you call a screen. You want to catch a defense overcommitting. Plenty of space available, and that matched up perfectly. What a convoy he got downfield to pick up big yardage on that play.
Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Rodgers will throw for it. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the one. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the two-point attempt is turned aside. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. So
now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Jones. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. First down and much more here for Jones. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He finds his man complete. That's Watson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 33 yards. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Rodgers throwing quickly out wide. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Packers add on to their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Second and 10.
Hey, watch the slant. 0-0, Mike 3. Watch the team, pioneer. Mike 3.
Back to throw. Jones. He's going to go up top again. He's got a man complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there for New England. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Jones. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Jones. Here's a diving catch right side. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And that hits the right upright but goes in anyway. Oh, friendly bounce there that could have gone either way easily, but he gets it to go. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the run.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dietrich Wise Jr. just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers under pressure, and they got to him again. Brian Burns, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 48 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Jones. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Here's Jones on third down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On second and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Looking to throw. Jones. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A great play there. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Patriots move back within a couple of the lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this is now a one-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Rodgers now to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Judon in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile, and that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists. And
he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Preston Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw from his end zone, Jones. Oh, Jones has just thrown his third interception. Picked off at the 20, and he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Dillon again, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Dillon. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And now here in this situation, a field goal would still have them only up by 1 score, so I would think about going for it. Even if you don't get in, you put your defense in a really nice spot, making the offense go the long way to try and score.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. Here's Rodgers throwing quickly to the flat. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Amari Rodgers, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They're going to run for it with Jones. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Flush, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Preston Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Jones. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Goes right back to Smith again. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
A big play there for the Patriots. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Jones. And this is going to be incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Jones. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Pats are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Steps away to his left. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that is incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So a big spot now for Crosby, but he's been here before. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a 1st down.
And, partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. The quick slant caught. That catch good for only a couple. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. 62 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's in.
And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game, but these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Packers, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one